Hello everyone, welcome back to SwitchUp, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Rec Room, which is out now on Nintendo Switch. This one is available in most other places as well. You can get it on mobile, PlayStation, Xbox, PC and VR, and it's completely free to download. Glen and I have played a number of the different games in here, and we're going to tell you quite a bit about it. It is a sponsored video. We obviously can't give a copy of this one away because it's free. Well, I guess we can. Infinite copies. You're welcome.
I guess so, yeah. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever played a game such as this, so it was definitely an interesting experience, and we'll go through the whys and the wherefores in a moment. So what exactly is Rec Room? Well, let's find out.
Where are we?
Before you do anything else in Rec Room, you have to create your own character. Now this is tied to a profile that you'll also create, and it will be the moniker through which other people can contact you, add you as their friend, and how they see you when they're in the game. Now although Rec Room is many games within one overarching game, it will teach you the ropes on the basic mechanics such as picking up items, how to interact with the world. Because it's previously existed in VR, there are things like being able to control your hands independently using the bumper buttons, and then it lets you loose, choosing the games that you want to go and play.
It's important to say, whilst we will focus on playing games first and foremost, that you can of course create your own games. And there's an item called the Maker Pen that will assist you in doing just that. But if we focus on the games that you can play first, the ones created by other people, as Marc just mentioned, there are a huge amount of them to choose from, and they've all got a ranking in terms of likes that they've received that can allow you to perhaps pick some that you feel may be best suited to you. And there are a number of different themes, I guess, if that's the best way of saying it, not just in terms of the genres of the games, but we played a lot of the co-op ones, for example, but there are others that are suited to a more single-player experience as well.
Yeah, they're not all just set games as well. Some of them are just like relaxing places, like go to cafes and stuff like that, and there are board games in here which we'll have a look at. This is going to be a slightly different video in that it's going to be kind of our experience of the ones we played, and then just to give you an idea of, you know, the experience overall.
Yeah, we tried to play a few that would cover some of the types of games I mentioned a moment ago, so PvP, co-op, and some more single-player games. So we start with co-op then, since that's, you know, what we do on the channel a lot of the time. So the first one we played was Back Room, which was like a horror maze, wasn't it? When you need to make your way through a set of corridors with very little direction. There's an initial map, and then you're kind of let loose and looking for clues and almost like landmarks to make sure you're going the right way. Now you can play this of course online, and there is an option to use voice chat. We were in the same room, so that wasn't necessary for us, but it was quite compelling the way that you had to work together and help each other with where you maybe have been before, or which way it may be to try and escape this maze.
Yeah, you can definitely tell like the community-driven nature of a lot of these, and I'm sure you can see from the footage, it's a little less polished than perhaps, you know, an entirely dedicated game, but it still carries a lot of the fun of the experiences that I actually enjoyed as a child. So you can imagine if you've got a group of mates together and you're like, oh, let's go play Backrooms tonight, and it's based on like the popular urban legend of those Backrooms. And yeah, it is quite, honestly, I don't like horror games, and I can see like the fun of having a group together doing this. Like there was a point where Glen was like, oh, you just wait here, I'm gonna go and scout out over there, and I mean, you can probably tell from the footage, I didn't enjoy that very much at all.
Yeah, it was good. And again, that cooperative aspect of it, of almost kind of leaving yourself breadcrumbs, in this case using Marc as a breadcrumb, so I could find my way back if it was a dead end. But yeah, my experience of these sort of horror-based cooperative games would be something like Friday the 13th. So this is different, obviously, in some respects, and as Marc said, obviously it's fan-made, so it isn't as polished, but I still got into it. It was still fun to play for sure.
So after that one, we went on to something a little bit more pleasant. We jumped over to what essentially amounts as Uno, doesn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, we played a bit of the card game where obviously you have to lay coloured cards, doing the old switcheroo and all that stuff that you do. And I don't play a lot of Uno. I play it with my kids sometimes in the coffee shop to keep them entertained. But yeah, it was. This was again just a fun, enjoyable little time sink.
I think that's the beauty of an experience like Rec Room is, especially me, my attention span's short. And as soon as I got bored on one of them, I was like, okay, let's jump to something else. And there's literally hundreds, if not thousands, to choose from. And Uno, you can't go wrong with it. So we jumped into that, and not official Uno, just has to be said.
Yeah.
It's something else, like you know.
You know.
But yeah, exactly, you do know. But you can change all the rules and that kind of thing, and obviously this can be played with your friends online or with your family. We had a couple of switches in the same room. There is a party system as well, so you can like party up. But again, different games handle the way that works differently, some more successfully than others. What did we play next?
It was called, I believe, the Golden Trophy.
The Oh yeah, the little like adventure-y kind of sword and shield.
Yeah, like medieval, but set on a stage.
Yes.
So you're kind of acting it out. You're picking up your wooden sword and your bow and arrow with the suction cups on the end, and taking out the enemies as you move along in first person. And again, working together. Although it did have friendly fire, you did shoot me with an arrow at one point.
I don't know if that happened.
But yeah, and obviously trying to make your way through to the end of each stage or each area. Just on finding new games, you mentioned it a minute ago, we found the most successful way to do it. So you could go into the menu and obviously you have your list of games there and you can invite the other player to join you. We found that once you're in the game proper, if you know what I mean, so you'll go into the game, but then it's like a hub world. Then you'll go into the game for real, if you like, wait until you're in and then invite the other player. Just cuts out a bunch of unnecessary loading screens to do it that way, we found at least.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, with the medieval one, it was reasonably enjoyable from what we played, and I think after that one, we wanted to try out some of the like officially created content. And there's one in there for Destiny, which I'm sure is official because you had like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles bit, didn't you? Then you had Destiny like in the main area.
Yes, there were some licensed parts, and we played, as you say, a bit of the Destiny 1 or Destiny 2, where you are kind of navigating your way across a number of platforms and shooting at like cardboard cutout enemies, you know, and trying to score as you make your way to the end of the stage.
Yeah, that one didn't float my boat at all. I've got to be honest, with the amount of like budget behind that, it was very much just an advertisement, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, and we then played, actually, ironically enough, a paintball game.
Yeah.
Which was similar in premise, you know, in terms of shooting, obviously from the first person. But this one, actually, we did one round on the same team and one round as a PvP. And I actually enjoyed this one a lot, you know, trying to capture the flag and take out the other team and pick your flag back up if needs be, or get their flag to your base, all that caper. And there are a number of different weapons that you could pick up along the way. And yeah, that was good fun, wasn't it? And obviously it's got that competitive edge of checking the scores at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. You can like pick up different weapons and stuff. You obviously capture the flag. There are different stages. But you can also notice the ones that are a little more professional because they tend to run much better.
Yes, absolutely right. And aside from those ones, we did play one, you know, kind of more single player experience, if you like, which was recently added apparently, and that's My Little Monsters, which I guess in some ways was like a monster taming game. You're given a monster to start with and you need to feed them, keep them happy, kind of that Tamagotchi angle, albeit in a third person 3D world. But then you're going into an environment called the Evergrown and picking up resources to then craft items such as an axe or machines that you can use, being given quests in the little hub world. And I only played about half an hour of this one, but you could definitely see someone getting lost in this. And again, if you've got friends in with you and you've got that voice chat on and you're all discussing what you're going to go, what you're going to build. And then if you're, you know, the younger children that are playing and you're going to school the next day, you said, Mark, didn't you, and discussing what you did the previous night in the game and stuff. Yeah, so you can see the appeal for sure.
Definitely. It's one of those where it doesn't matter what type of player you are, you're going to find something in there. It's just whether or not you're willing to look for it.
Yeah. It reminded me a bit of Mario Maker, and that's probably my closest experience with any such game before today, obviously, where you're going to find levels that are either have been made to be difficult or to be impossible or to be annoying, and if you sift through all that, you're obviously going to find quality in there as well, and that was definitely the case here. But that like system does help you navigate some of that at the same time.
Definitely. So Glen was talking a little bit about the creation process. They're adding a few new things as well. The Avatar Studio's coming soon, which will allow creators to make custom avatar items, as well as a few other bits that are on the way. It's one of those that seems to be constantly getting improved and added to. So yeah, if you want to try this one out, as we say, in terms of like gameplay, it varies per experience, but it's entirely free, so you've got nothing to lose really. Visually, it really does depend on the game, and then we've said already that also applies to performance. What I will say is if you want a smoother experience, make sure you play a private room. So every time you launch a game, it gives you the option of public or private. So just do a private one, because obviously it's having to render every other character, so you can improve performance massively.
All games do have a similar feel. Obviously, they're using a similar graphical style. It's just, I suppose, the competence of the creators, or sometimes just their artistic flair, I guess, in terms of what they do with it. But there's definitely a bit of uniformity across the board, whilst having, you know, unique aspects at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. I think some of these potentially sponsored. I don't know if they're sponsored or what, but you know, the official licensed stuff, that does look to have some custom assets and stuff, so it can feel quite different, especially that like first area on the Destiny 2 one.
Yes, it did, yeah.
It's quite nice, isn't it? On the sound front, it's just really worth noting that yes, it does have voice chat. You can plug a microphone into your Nintendo Switch on the dock and then just chat away.
And just one final point then is to say that it does include crossplay with other consoles, other platforms, and we experienced obviously a high number of players in the majority of the games that we played that weren't private games, so it's definitely well populated.
This is normally the time where we talk about value, but obviously it's completely free. So in terms of value, it's completely free. It's worth giving it a shot if it's something that appeals to you. I've got my kids playing it, playing together, like the three of us is a lot of fun.
There we go. That's everything you need to know to get you started on Rec Room. Do let us know what you think of it. Put it in the comment section below. Were there any games that you found that you thought were particularly good or enjoyable? Again, put the names of them down below and perhaps other people could give them a try. Thanks to Rec Room for sponsoring this video, and a thank you to our patrons and our channel members for your continued support. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.